150 inspirational quotes to help you live a stress-free life. Welcome to Solomon Fadun's channel. In this video, we discussed 150 inspirational quotes to help you live a stress-free life. Success doesn't just come and find you, you have to go out and get it. Stress is a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or demanding circumstances. People and things can cause stress in your life, stress which is on a mental level. I am optimistic that quotes presented in this video will inspire you to rid your mind and your life of stress so that you may live your dreams. Here are 150 inspirational quotes to help you live a stress-free life. Now, let us start. 1. Stress can actually help you focus better and can be positive. Having small amounts of stress can stimulate you to think. Being able to manage your stress is key. Frank Long. 2. How we perceive a situation and how we react to it is the basis of our stress. If you focus on the negative in any situation, you can expect high stress levels. However, if you try and see the good in the situation, your stress levels will greatly diminish. Catherine Pulsifer. 3. Strengthening your heart is just as important as strengthening your mind because working towards your dreams can be a stressful task. If you can't handle the stress physically or mentally, then you are asking for a bad situation. Elijah A. Grant IV. Stress is a form of fear in daily life, stress over bills, employees, bosses, children, and a myriad of other life situations. Linda Drevenstedt. 5. Negative emotions tend to shut the brain off. These emotions are so stressful that the brain only wants to get away. This is our survival instinct. Brandon Cutt. 6. As our world becomes ever more complex and stressful, developing our capacity for dynamic balance in our lives, work, and relationships becomes ever more vital to understand and embody in our own lives and to model for others whose lives we influence. Joel Levy. 7. Trying to be a perfectionist brings increased stress and hinders performance. T. Whitmore. 8. Much of the stress people encounter is derived from dishonesty. People first lie to themselves and then to others. David DeNotaris. 9. According to a study, addressing issues on money, work, and family responsibilities are the main sources of stress in our lives. Hannah Grace. 10. Stress is not what happens to us. It's our response to what happens. And response is something we can choose. Maureen Killoran. 11. When we refuse to balance the overwhelming demands of work, home, family, friends, and personal growth, stress will be the natural result. Mary Southerland. 12. Stress and unhappiness come not from situations, but how you respond to situations. Brian Tracy. 13. Prayer relieves the stress of perceived inactivity. Now that God has been given the task, you don't have to worry about it any longer. God has His people on it. With less stress comes more strength. Max Lucado. 14. Passionate and visionary teachers pour their hearts and souls into their students and their schools, but they don't become overwhelmed with work and stress. Mike Anderson. 15. So some stress is necessary in our lives when we want to stimulate creativity, or to promote learning. Christian J. Borg. 16. You don't have to love your anxiety. You just have to permit it. Barry McDonough. 17. Practicing mindful meditation is an extremely effective way to manage both our feelings of stress and anxiety. Kristine Ally. 18. Just as chanting helped Gandhi guide his people through dangerous times, it can help keep your stress response systems in balance through whatever challenges you face. Richard P. Brown. 19. So, stress fulfills a function. It makes you sharper and more focused, and while this is generally a good thing, the reaction can become far too intense for some. Anders Hansen. 20. Stress is designed to be a lifesaver. In times of danger, stress gets our adrenaline going so we can move quickly to dodge a harmful threat. Kenneth R. Ginsberg. 21. Great deals of stress can also be felt in social situations, such as when a relationship is ended or a person is going through problems with his/her mother and father. Jamaal Watson. 22. Sometimes, your stress is caused by your own unproductive behaviors. Clara Taylor. 23. Without the stress of full-time work, we can be healthier in retirement than we were before, but we'll have to work at achieving and maintaining good health. Margaret Hovanec. 24. When the world around you is crumbling, God is the rock on which you can stand. Unknown. 25. People say modern life is stressful. Stress is not a characteristic of life or times, but of people. Stress does not come from the environment, it comes from the mind of the individual under stress. Brad Blanton. 26. In order to communicate effectively, you must be aware of your emotions and remain in control of them. This means you must learn how to manage stress. Eric Davenport. 27. How stressed and grim we look. Our emotions inexorably flash through the 43 muscles in our face, and we communicate our feelings through our eyes, our brows, and the set of our mouths. One smile can light up a room, one frown can darken a day. David Jeremiah. 28. One of the common sources of stress is loss. You can lose your job, your health, your money, your reputation, or a loved one. Rick Warren. 29. No doubt, the job of mothering is rewarding, but it also is exhausting, stressful, and at times, overwhelming. Linda Castile-Kozlowski. 30. After years of watching people struggle to change their thoughts, emotions, bodies, and habits, I realized that much of what people believed about willpower was sabotaging their success and creating unnecessary stress. Kelly McGonigal. 31. I have noticed a few people who are not happy with what they have that makes them feel disheartened. This also makes them feel low, and such people can become a victim of stress. Amara Abid. 32. You cannot be a stress-free person and remain anxious and depressed. Getting rid of your stress is the key to saving your sanity. Jack Brady. 33. Athletes who use dynamic relaxation are generally in better physical shape, and are better able to handle the incredible stress that goes hand in hand with competitive sport. Christian H. Godefroy. 34. When we learn to manage that stress, we are able to create our peak performance abilities and remain calm. James O'Donnell. 35. High levels of stress can really overwhelm your mind and body, and they get in the way of your ability to accurately understand a situation. You lose the ability to hear what others are saying, what they're feeling or might need, and how to communicate in a clear and concise manner. Salma Stockdale. 36. I think one of the biggest things that sleep does is help with emotional stress. Joe Zeller. 37. Sometimes when you are dependent only on yourself, things can get a bit stressful. However, you must always remember that never going through anything difficult is a sure way to always be less than what you could be. Dr. Lauren Cunning. 38. Overthinking causes unnecessary stress and worry, and tends to blow things out of proportion. Melissa Eschlerman. 39. Worrying is a waste of time, it changes nothing. It will only create stress, which can have major effects on your health. Robert Washington. 40. If you want a cure for stress, you need to learn to look to God to meet your needs. Some people find their security in their job, and when they lose their job, they lose their peace of mind. You can lose your job, your health, your reputation, your spouse, and your mind. But you cannot lose your relationship to Christ. Rick Warren. 41. Resilient people are emotionally strong, are kind, gentle and patient, are compassionate even amid personal stress. Amit Sood. 42. If you find yourself struggling to keep up with your day-to-day life due to constant stress, it may be time for you to cut back. The quantity over quality lifestyle doesn't work out, and many of the world's most successful people turned to minimalism as a way to find true happiness and meaning in their lives. Brian Knight. 43. Laughter helps bring balance to a stressful situation. Carla Stevenson. 44. It is easy for everybody to describe its symptoms, but defining stress itself is more complicated because stress requires psychological and medical concepts to give an exact and understandable definition. Jamaal Watson. 45. Every day, we take on situations that may cause stress, but you need to learn how detrimental stress is as far as concentration is concerned. Dane Taylor. 46. It's better being early to grab a cup of coffee or walk around to cool your stresses than it is to worry about whether you are going to arrive to the interview in time. M.G. Rich. 47. Know that your attitude will affect your mind and burden you with stress. You need to alter your views and be able to sustain a healthier mindset. Kellie Sullivan. 48. Yes, you have a serious job that requires all of your energy and most of your day, and should be of course taken very seriously since the entire group of people depends on how well you are doing in team management, but all work and no fun can make you stressed and anxious. Andy Stone. 49. Good time management brings with it increased relaxation, less stress, more satisfaction, and greater accomplishment. Stephen Hall. 50. In fact, coping with failure creates unrecognized systemic stress that robs us of the creativity and energy that could be mustered to bring about our desired success. James B. Richards. 51. If your outside world is chaotic and stressful, then chances are that your inside world will be, too. An outside world clutter and overwhelm tends to trigger our inside world clutter and overwhelm, feeding painful emotions, fears, and hidden blocks. The good news is that clearing out our outside world can help to declutter and free up our inside world. Clare Josa. 52. They cannot handle the risks and stress involved in striving to be better and doing things that are not a part of their usual routine. They settle for mediocrity and familiarity and give up on their dreams and ambitions, thinking that it is better to live in the safety of their comfort zones than to live a life full of uncertainties. Jamie Becker. 53. Remember that every time you say yes to something, especially when you are half-hearted in agreeing, you add stress in your life. Philip Vang. 54. When the world around you is crumbling, God is the rock on which you can stand. Author unknown. 55. One smile can light up a room, one frown can darken a day. David Jeremiah. 56. I think one of the biggest thing that sleep does is help with emotional stress. Joe Zeller. 57. Worrying is a waste of time, it changes nothing. It will only create stress. Robert Washington. 58. Stress is not what happens to us. It's our response to what happens. Maureen Killoran. 59. Laughter helps bring balance to a stressful situation. Carla Stevenson. 60. Know that your attitude will affect your mind and burden you with stress. Kellie Sullivan. 61. If your outside world is chaotic and stressful, then chances are that your inside world will be, too. Clare Josa. 62. Some stress is necessary in our lives when we want to stimulate creativity, or to promote learning. Christian J. Borg. 63. It's not stress that kills us. It's our reaction to it. Unknown. 64. Difficult roads always lead to beautiful destinations. Unknown. 65. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. Get over it. Unknown. 66. Adopting the right attitude can convert a negative stress into a positive one. Hans Selye. 67. The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. William James. 68. Staying positive does not mean that things will turn out okay. Rather, it is knowing that you will be okay no matter how things turn out. Unknown. 69. Whatever is worrying you right now, forget about it. Take a deep breath, stay positive and know that things will get better. Unknown. 70. Spend more of your time on what gives you energy and less of your time on what takes it away. Unknown. 71. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet come. We have only today. Let us begin. Mother Teresa. 72. Stress is caused by being here, but wanting to be there. Eckhart Tolle. 73. Remember that stress doesn't come from what's going on in your life. It comes from your thoughts about what's going on in your life. Andrew J. Bernstein. 74. When you fear your struggles consume you. When you face your struggles, you overcome them. Unknown. 75. Challenges and obstacles are a part of life. They make us stronger and build character. If life were easy, it would be boring and you would never grow. Unknown. 76. You can't always control what goes on outside, but you can always control what goes on inside. Wayne Dyer. 77. If you want to conquer the anxiety of life, live in the moment, live in the breath. Amit Ray. 78. You are braver than you believe, and stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Christopher Robin. 79. Stop a minute, right where you are. Relax your shoulders, shake your head and spine like a dog shaking off cold water. Tell that imperious voice in your head to be still. Barbara Kingsolver. 80. It's not the events of our lives that shape us, but our beliefs as to what those events mean. Tony Robbins. 81. Attitude is a choice. Happiness is a choice. Optimism is a choice. Kindness is a choice. Giving is a choice. Respect is a choice. Whatever choice you make makes you. Choose wisely. Roy T. Bennett. 82. Life can be a scary but fun rollercoaster ride, filled with ups and downs, twists and turns, and you might get dizzy or throw up. But in the end, you will always return safe and sound. Unknown. 83. We don't develop courage by being happy every day. We develop it by surviving difficult times and challenging adversity. Barbara de Angelis. 84. Worrying does not take away tomorrow's troubles, it takes away today's peace. Unknown. 85. Today I refuse to stress myself out about things I cannot control or change. Unknown. 86. It's not stress that kills us, it is our reaction to it. Hans Selye. 87. Be like a little kid, with no stress, no worries, or a care in the world. Unknown. 89. Remember, most of your stress comes from the way you respond, not the way life is. Adjust your attitude, and all that extra stress is gone. Unknown. 90. Don't stress yourself with useless people who don't even deserve to be an issue in your life. Unknown. 91. 99% of things you worry about never happen. Unknown. 92. Working hard for something we don't care about is called stress. Working hard for something we love is called passion. Unknown. 93. Don't stress. Do your best. Forget the rest. Unknown. 94. If you want to test your memory, try to recall what you were worrying about 1 year ago. Joseph Kosman. 95. A diamond is just a piece of charcoal that handled stress exceptionally well. Unknown. 96. God will never give you anything you can't handle, don't stress. Kelly Clarkson. 97. Stress spelled backward is desserts. Loretta Laroche. 98. Take life day by day and be grateful for the little things. Don't get stressed over what you can't control. Unknown. 99. The people in your life should be a source of reducing stress, not causing more of it. Unknown. 100. Stop focusing on how stressed you are and remember how blessed you are. Unknown. 101. Stress happens when you try to control your life experiences. Relax and remember the only real control you have is over yourself. Unknown. 102. Stress, anxiety, and depression are caused when we are living to please others. Paulo Coelho. 103. The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. William James. 104. You must learn to let go. Release the stress. You were never in control anyway. Steve Maraboli. 105. Stress is the inability to tell the difference between what is happening and what you think is happening. Unknown. 106. The day she let go of the things that were weighing her down, was the day she began to shine the brightest. Katrina Mayer. 107. Make jokes. No stress. Love. Live life. Proceed. Progress. Lil Wayne. 108. Trying to be a perfectionist brings increased stress and hinders performance. T. Whitmore. 109. Sometimes the best thing you can do is not think, not wonder, not imagine, not obsess. Just breath, and have faith that everything will work out for the best. Unknown. 110. The major cause of stress is the inability of people to discover their real nature. Discover your gifts, follow them and you will never feel stressed. Unknown. 111. When you realize how perfect everything is, you will tilt your head back and laugh at the sky. Buddha. 112. An ignorant state, stress is. Yoda. 113. Don't stress the could-haves. If it should have, it would have. Unknown. 114. Don't cry over the past, it's gone. Don't stress about the future, it hasn't arrived. Live in the present and make it beautiful. Unknown. 115. God doesn't give us what we can handle. God helps us handle what we are given. Unknown. 116. Gratitude can reduce your stress and anxiety. Bree Miller. 117. Focus on how blessed you are. ATGW. 118. Stress is the gap between our expectation and reality. The bigger the gap, the more stress, so, expect nothing and just be. Unknown. 119. Eliminate the people, things, beliefs, environments, and memories that cause you stress, and you will live a more happy and peaceful life. ATGW. 120. Don't let your mind bully your body into believing it must carry the burden of its worries. Astrid Lauder. 121. Do not anticipate trouble or worry about what may never happen. Keep in the sunlight. Benjamin Franklin. 122. Stress is not what happens to us. It's our response to what happens. And response is something we can choose. Maureen Killoran. 123. You must learn to let go. Release the stress. You were never in control anyway. Steve Maraboli. 124. Stress is the trash of modern life. We all generate it, but if you don't dispose of it properly, it will pile up and overtake your life. Danza Pace. 125. When I look back on all these worries, I remember the story of the old man who said on his deathbed that he had had a lot of trouble in his life, most of which had never happened. Winston Churchill. 126. When we commit to action, to actually doing something rather than feeling trapped by events, the stress in our life becomes manageable. Greg Anderson. 127. Much of the stress that people feel doesn't come from having too much to do. It comes from not finishing what they've started. David Allen. 128. Our anxiety does not come from thinking about the future, but from wanting to control it. Khalil Gibran. 129. Stress is like spice, in the right proportion it enhances the flavor of a dish. Too little produces a bland, dull meal, too much may choke you. Donald Tubesing. 130. One of the symptoms of an approaching nervous breakdown is the belief that one's work is terribly important. Bertrand Russell. 131. The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. William James. 132. When you find yourself stressed, ask yourself one question: will this matter in 5 years from now? If yes, then do something about the situation. If no, then let it go. Catherine Pulsifer. 133. An hour of anxiety cannot change my circumstances, but a minute of prayer can alter everything. Al Byrant. 134. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself but to your own estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Marcus Aurelius. 135. Stress should be a powerful driving force, not an obstacle. Bill Phillips. 136. Stress is nothing more than a socially acceptable form of mental illness. Richard Carlson. 137. Take rest, a field that has rested gives a bountiful crop. Ovid. 138. Every day brings a choice, to practice stress or to practice peace. Joan Borisenko. 139. Being in control of your life and having realistic expectations about your day-to-day challenges are the keys to stress management, which is perhaps the most important ingredient to living a happy, healthy and rewarding life. Marilu Henner. 140. Stress is an ignorant state. It believes that everything is an emergency. Natalie Goldberg. 141. Resistance creates suffering. Stress happens when your mind resists what is. The only problem in your life is your mind's resistance to life as it unfolds. Dan Millman. 142. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. Confucius. 143. Say no to the demands of the world. Say yes to the longings of your own heart. Jonathan Lockwood Huey. 144. Stress is an admission of weakness, a cry of defeat to the world. Carrie Lettet. 145. Pressure and stress is the common cold of the psyche. Andrew Denton. 146. No good comes from hurrying. Yiddish proverb. 147. Some of the secret joys of living are not found by rushing from point A to point B, but by inventing some imaginary letters along the way. Douglas Pagels. 148. It isn't the mountain ahead that wears you out, it's the grain of sand in your shoe. Robert W. Service. 149. When you feel the need to hurry, remember that everything in life is a choice. Jonathan Lockwood Huey. 150. It's not the events of our lives that shape us, but our beliefs as to what those events mean. Tony Robbins. Hope you find this video useful. Then, give it a thumbs up, and share it with your friends. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel, Solomon Fadun's channel. Thank you for watching.